out on the campaign trail and in churches and other areas, I was running into teachers that I've known and that were just heartbroken with what's happening with the education system. And just not angry so much, but just please listen. Would you please listen and stop talking for just a second? And I would listen, as some teachers can be very persuasive. I remember back, I was thinking coming over, Senator Gresham, this afternoon, Senator Tracy and Senator Gresham, we came from Jackson. As a first grader in Murray City, Miss Hilda Mount was my teacher. And Miss Hilda is, she's on up there now in years, but she's still pretty tough. And my dad told her when I was in school, he would tell the teachers, now, if he gets out of line, you've got my permission to punish him, and when I get home, I'll punish him. And Miss Hilda was rough. Let me tell you something, guys. She would paddle. She would grab me by the ear. She would grab me by the hair when I had hair. I mean, it was all of the above. And I respected Miss Hilda. I mean, she was tough. And thinking over the years of having a good set of parents at home who cared when I came home, who actually made me do my homework and made me do as good as I could in school. But having good teachers that cared about the kids. We were with a group of doctors this afternoon in Jackson, and I told them, I said, guys, I appreciate you doing what you do because it's not all about the money with doctors. And teachers, I know it's not about the money, guys. I know it's about children, education, them getting to the next level. You care about them, and that's critically important. I love kids. It's funny, my wife is over here. Wave your hand, baby. And my little girl, Sarah. But when we first got married, she said, I love kids. And she said, I want several. And I said, well, I don't know about several. I said, I love kids too, but maybe one is enough. And after our third child, I said, I kind of like this kid thing. And she said, I don't want any more kids.
So, efficiency rate we have to meet or we become a targeted school. Well, now you've taken our top 30 kids from our math. So what are we supposed to do? You know, we've pulled kids, we've made small groups, we've had to totally take everybody, all hands on deck. We turned out encore classes into math classes to help those other kids left over to bring them up to make up for those top kids.
That's great.
Yes, okay, well, that's great.
Make it fast. I'm Dwight Edge, I'm the superintendent of our county. Just a couple of comments. Too much of the educational agenda is driven by the inner city schools. We have good teachers. Too much of the educational agenda across the country is driven by the problems of the big inner city schools. We have good teachers. They do a good job. But so much of the rules and regulations and things that are passed are really because of your metropolitan cities that have so many problems. We have good teachers. They do a good job. You need to slow down. Our people can't decide what to teach. It's like you're in a boat and the waves are just changing all the time. We can't adjust that fast. They can't concentrate on teaching the kids because they're having to deal with all the new rules and regulations that are coming at us. And we can't handle it.
You make an excellent point.
You know, the best thing that happened for us was you guys take a vacation from education for 2 or 3 years.
You make an excellent point, and you're exactly right about there's one good thing that comes down that's going to help in that regard, those achievement school districts, where we can put all those schools, a lot of those in that same district, and we'll leave you alone, and you're like an elderly man that lives in my district. It's about once a month.
Me, elderly.
You're not elderly, but he grabs me by the arm about once a month. He said, Jim, when y'all gonna hurry up and get out of Nashville before you mess something else up? And there's a lot of truth in that. So you're exactly right. I think we spend a lot of time working on a minority of smaller amount of students from one particular area.
And if test scores are going to be as important as they are, we should have a test security policy. I don't think any teacher should test their own kids, and I think there should be a monitor in that range. I've had to assist some teachers in finding something else to do because of those issues, and I can't imagine what it would be in some systems.
That's a great idea.
You know, if you're going to do this testing and we're going to have all this emphasis on it, no teacher should test their own kids, and there should be a monitor in that room.
Well, let me ask you while you got it. That's a great idea. How hard would that be? Just swap teachers in the class? Just swap?
Randomly. Don't swap with your buddy.
It would be nice if you gave the schools freedom on when we got to test. Instead of saying we have to do a reading test all one day, math all one day, science, if you would give us some freedom on when we can test.
I don't know who decides that. We don't decide that.
No,
That's the state law.
State Board of Education.
Is that the state board of education?
that's coming from the State Department, yes, sir. And I would consider you guys part of the State Department.
Well, we're paying equal time here.
Yeah.
Okay? Do I got to speak? I'm from the city school system.
Uh-oh.
If we want to make change, sorry, if we want to make change, it's got to be fundamental. And everything that we talk about doesn't matter if we don't have good teachers and early intervention, and that's it. I don't care if you take that man right back there and you put him in a cave with a rock, he can out-teach about 9 out of 10 teachers across the state. He's going to be successful, and his kids are going to be successful, okay? If we have early interventions, it's not going to matter. If we give them all the same talents when they come to school, and we don't have it. We know we don't have that because of the family degradation that we have. But if we can come and get earlier interventions to where we can help them out before they get to school, and that's with our pre-K programs and our programs before that. And I know that they're always on some shaky ground on our levels from state and federal funding. So, if we can do that, that's going to make a world of difference. As far as the evaluations, we don't have evaluations, we have observations. They are the professional growth models that you were talking about, Senator. And we don't have evaluations. Cliff's heard all of this, but we look at that as a professional growth opportunity, and we try not to threaten with our teachers with that.
And along that line, Congressman's got to go.
Sorry.
But you're dead on, and I think you're going to hear a lot about getting students ready to go and learn to read, because statistics prove if they don't do well in reading by the end of 3rd grade, we lose them, and they're gone. I mean, you can follow them, and you can talk to Dr. Sanders on the value added. He can track a student, and I've had him do it to me in different school systems across the state, and he can track them. So you're exactly right. I think you're going to hear a lot about that, getting them at that reading level. And Dr. Earhart, the new assistant commissioner, she has a track record of doing that in Putnam County. That was sort of her deal, is getting students and moving them up reading. So I agree.
I'm Risha Black. I'm the director of schools at Alma City, and we have started filing neglect charges against parents that don't get their kids to school on time. Of course, her husband's a judge, and he is holding them accountable. We went to court this morning with 2 that either can't get their kids to school on time for 15 days or they have truancy issues. But we don't file anything against the child because it's not their fault. I also want to say that I don't think any of our teachers, and I don't think we're not against Race to the Top at all. In fact, No Child Left Behind did make changes, positive changes, in the way we do things and in our beliefs that all children can learn. It's just that I echo what Sarah said about we would like to have a composite score for teachers to be counted on rather than one. And we have a lot of technology. We just happen to be blessed. So we'd be glad to take an online test where those answers could come back just like that.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. I think we can do that. And I think
There's
that's
some
technology
programs.
where we can do that today.
Right. There's some programs out there, they're just very expensive. But if you really want to know where a child is, you can't wait to the end.
Right.
So, anyway, we appreciate y'all, and we're glad to hear from all of you. But I think the biggest thing is not the negativity against the program or against progress or against achievement. I think it's just that the 35%